All right. Says we're live. Look at that. Okay, I hope this audio is working. Need to go find out. Let me go see if my audio is working. I hear myself talking. Maybe it works. I'll go to the other room. See if I can still see here. Live on my own stuff. Right? Say I'm live. Oh, right now. And somebody else can tell me if I have now hear anything. All right. Yeah. All right. Sounds like we can hear me. Good deal. All right. So I went on the other computer there to make sure you could hear me. It sounds like you can hear me, so we're good to go. So what I'm doing here is one of my final sign jobs. We're going to create some signs for my landlord. Now I can hear myself in the other room. I got to go shut that off. Hang on just a second. All right. All right. So it's working. Okay. So we know this thing's working. And so what I did is I just took a roll of black vinyl, and they have it taped up here nice and securely. So we just got it in on an order from Grimco, which is a sign supplier for you guys that are in the sign industry. You'll know that name. And we are very grateful to them for lots of years of bringing us supplies to our sign shop. This is just in my basement of my house in Dallas. So this is what they call a Roland, as you can see there. It's the SP Model 300V, and it is a vinyl cutter and printer, as a matter of fact. So I've got some software right here running on this computer right here, and it's connected via my network to my computer in the other room. And we're gonna lose it. Yeah, hold on, hope it comes back. Click, click, click. Maybe not. Come on. I'm losing my camera. Yeah, I did. Which let go. Come on. Come back to me, baby. See if we can reinitialize it. Dun, dun, dun. Got my audio, but no video. All right, folks. We may have to stop the stream and restart. Try one more time here. No. See if this works. There we go, maybe. Dun, 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 dun. Got a nice black screen there, huh? Come on, I know it's connected now. There we go. All right, so we got it reconnected. Okay. Hopefully the YouTube stream is back to running. Let's see that. Yep, looks like it. Okay, good. All right. So I fed the vinyl in here. Pull some through to make sure that it is running straight and true, because I'm going to cut something that's kind of long. You don't want it to spew side to side. So I'll back it up here a little bit and get it ready to cut. Set my base point, and now we're just going to go ahead and cut out a couple of small real estate size signs for my, like I said, my landlord at the computer store. He had a little job he asked me to do, and it's kind of cool that I have the machine still that I can go ahead and do that. So here you go. You're going to see the machine take off and start running now. So, you know, big thrill, but this vinyl is going back and forth, as you can see here. So it can roll the vinyl back and forth this way, and then the head can go back and forth this way. So it coordinates all the movements, and that way it can cut just about anything. And you'll just see in a minute here what we're cutting out right now. It'll just take another couple of seconds to finish this. Again, this is just a small real estate sign. Finishing the 2 arrows, I think, here. Or maybe that's the word open. There you go. Oh, I got it cutting more than one. How many is it going to do? I'm not sure. I got to go look. I hope I didn't tell it to cut 50. Oh, it just cut an outline. That's what it did. So I got to turn that feature off. It has a little feature that you can cut a square around everything to make sure that you keep the parts separated. But we'll show you that in just a second. And once it's finished, it's pushed the vinyl out to, you know, where everything that's cut is out and not, you know, behind the blade. And then it has a sheet cut feature where you just press the sheet cut and it's going to go down, push out the razor knife, and then cut the paper for me. All right. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn this, hopefully not mess the camera up again this time. I'm going to bring this guy over here. I'm just going to set him down like this and should be able to, at that point, see what I'm doing here on the table. There you go. All right, that's good. So razor knife, all right. And remember I said it cut an outline around the whole thing? So there's the outline. And what this is this is a big roll of sticky vinyl material, all right? It's very, very sticky. It's what we make the signs out of. So I'm going to go ahead and I cut my rows of lettering apart to make sure I don't pull the letter up. And what I have to do is pull up all the excess that isn't the letter, right? Or the number that I need. So I just pull off all the excess and it leaves the letters that are cut out. See that? Now, the only thing left to do for these to make them signs is to pull out the little pieces in the center. Now I just did one just to make sure I had the pressure right. If you don't have enough pressure on it, it won't pull, you can't pull the vinyl off easily. And if you have too much, it can cut into the paper, and I can show you what the problem is with that. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put some tape on this, because the way we use it is to transfer it from the paper to the sign. We use a piece of tape. Can you guess what kind of tape it is? It's a real difficult one. I just said what we do with it. We use it to transfer the lettering, so it's called transfer tape. How about that? These sign guys are really creative, aren't they? So there, we put 2 pieces of tape on this. And I don't know if y'all like my little machine here. This guy has been with me for probably almost 20, more than 20 years. I'd say probably been with me making signs for 25 years, maybe 30 even. I bought it at one of the first sign shows I ever went to in Orlando, Florida, because I can do any length of taping with that. I'll show you that in a few minutes, because I'm going to be doing a couple of really large pieces here. I have some 10-foot long signs to make. So there's all it takes to make prepare the sign. What these will do is go on a board like this. So if you hang out while I make a few more of these signs, then you can see me put them on the boards. All right. So that's one. We got to do 3 more. I was all set up to use my tripod. I have the tripod over here, and my microphone system. I have some nice lavalier mics, and goodness gracious, the technical difficulties to make this simple video. So fell back to the AirPods and a little external camera that I have clipped onto the top of my laptop, and away we go. So if you need help overcoming the challenges of your technology, iluvmygeek is here to help. That's the computer store that I own. Oh, I forgot to turn off that feature where it's cutting the whole square around the outside of it. Let me see if I can kill that feature. And now one of the things I have to make sure of, see, it's got these little rubber wheels. There's one here and there's one here. And the vinyl is right to the edge of that rubber wheel because I want to be able to use as much as I can to cut. So if the vinyl isn't lined up straight, then it'll travel, you know, out from underneath the wheels. So one of the big things you have to be careful of is to make sure that the vinyl is not skewing off to the sides. All right, so let's just check this real quick on these settings. Something I know. All right, never mind. I'll just do that now. Never gonna do that. Okay, so I'm messing with some settings here that I probably shouldn't be messing with because I do not want to screw up my job. I just want to get it cut and be able to get it finished. So we'll go ahead and send another one. Said I needed 4 of them. So turn this back this way just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing on the table as well. I should be able to see the table and the flowers. As a matter of fact, bring this down just a little bit more to see it all. There you go. I think the printer could probably cut them faster than I can weed and tape it. Let's see. Yeah, it's done. Although it's still forwarding it. Maybe I can beat it. Close. So this is what I've done to feed my family for, I guess, almost 35 years now. And now I'm moving on from this. So there's number 2. All right, we said we needed 4 of them. Put that one out of the way. We got number 3 here. And I'll send number 4 as soon as this one cuts. Now I could have said, you know, send 4 at the same time. I didn't have to try and do it all at once or one at a time. I could have said send all 4 at once, but I haven't used this vinyl. It's a brand new roll of vinyl, and it's still a little cool because my shop's in the basement. So I wanted to just do one to make sure that everything was set right. And, you know, I only need 4 of them, so I just did individuals instead of going back and sending 3 more. So just you know, made it easier since I'm recording. There you go. Trying to beat the printer this time. I think I got it. Boom, look at that. It's still forwarding. Did I beat it? Boom. There you go. It's still forwarding out the vinyl right now. I win. All right. So that was number 4 that just got cut. So now I got to cut some really long pieces. The signs that he asked me to make for his other shop they're 10 feet long and 3 feet high. So only a few letters, but that 10 feet running vinyl through here. See, I look really good on the alignment, and I know that this is 30 feet of material. So I'm gonna go ahead and send it. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it. I'm gonna have faith. I'm gonna have confidence. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. All right. So let's go ahead and run this up a little more. I already sent it to the computer. Now, again, when I say sent it to the computer, I have a computer in my studio in the other room, and then I have a computer sitting right here that runs this machine. So I've sent it over the network to this computer from that one. And here we go. Either it's going to blow up or it's going to work great. We'll find out in just a minute. And what I'm doing is spooling off some extra vinyl in the back so it's not having to pull it. And that way it's not jerking the whole roll of vinyl. So we can go ahead and get this one done as well while we're waiting on that. Now, if it starts to get all screwy, I can stop it and, you know, cut the whole thing in a couple pieces if I need to. But the hope is that it runs true and straight, which it is so far. And there's only a few letters. Like I said, it's only the word emissions. For those of you that know us, you know our computer store shares a building with a Georgia State emissions inspection station. And the owner of the building is the guy who owns the inspection company. So he really likes the fact that I have a sign machine, and I really like the fact that he is willing to trade it out a little bit. So for a little bit of my experience and skill, we take some money off our rent for the month, which is always very nice. It's my way of helping out a little bit too. It should be almost done. Like I said, it was only 10 feet. I was going to run all the way back and cut the square around it. That's what I forgot to turn off. I said it like 3 times, didn't I? Yeah. Yep. But that vinyl was in there pretty darn true because it went all the way through and all the way back, and it did not go side to side on me. I'm pretty impressed with that alignment on that vinyl. I got to change that and resend that because that is a mess. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and walk right into the studio here. Let's just see where I'm at since I have to set that and fix it. Walk myself into the studio. Let's set you on here so you can see what's on my screen while I'm working. All right, that should be just about perfect. So, I got an old, oh, it's not even on that computer screen. It's on this one over here. And this one is not connected. Yeah, it is. Nope, I think I'm on the wrong one. Okay. So you see I got 3 computer screens, right? But I actually have 2 computers, too, that I'm connected to. So I got to go back over here to this one and change the input. Come on. Figure out how to change the input. There you go. Now it'll be the computer that has the sign stuff on it. The technical difficulties. All right, so here's that one I'm trying to send right now. And under options, it says weed border. So I just turn that off. And then I'll go back to here, and we should be able to hit send again. All right, that's all I had to do in here. That's why I brought you with me instead of stopping or just leaving you staring at the blank wall. I'll go back in the other room now. There we go. It's still forward in that 10 feet out, if you believe it or not. It's advancing it. Okay, just finished. All right, a couple more seconds. We can cut it. There we go. I just wanted you to see the difference in size between those ones I was just making and this. I got to make 2 of these, but this is that's 10 feet, right? So it's quite a bit different than the piece we were just working on, and this is how we handle it. Go ahead and just roll this up. That way we can fit a 10-foot piece of material on an 8-foot table that has a bunch of crap sitting on it. All right, now, I did neglect to sweep up the floor before I did that, and because it's so long, it does get on the floor, so it did get some dust on it. Not terrible, but the dogs don't come down here a lot, so that's not a problem. So I need to roll this up. And so this is how you handle it when you have a much larger piece of material than the workspace you have. You just roll it back and forth, and then can roll out the other end. There, so that's where the end of the part that got on the ground is. All right, so now we got to do what we did to the smaller sign for this, right? So we got to get all of my, get a few of these other things out of the way, give myself a little more room. We got to get all of my vinyl off of here that doesn't belong. So remember, again, it cut the weeding border. Oh, joy. So I get to play with that, which is now making life a little more difficult than I wanted it to be. But that's all right. As you can see, I've been doing this for a little while, so it doesn't really affect me. There's not a whole lot about it that can, I mean, I've spent, well, it's been probably 91. So what's that? The 25 plus 9, that's 34 years. 91 was that's when I got married to my boy's mom. So maybe it was before that I had the sign company. I think I had the sign company before that. But all right, so now we're just going to go ahead and do what we did to the small signs, but we're doing them to the big sign. All right. All right. So this is a little more risky because you don't want the vinyl as you're pulling it up to stick to the next letter, right? So the stuff in my hand is sticky, and if I just kind of go crazy and pull it, this part here might stick down and hit the letter there, and then it create a problem. So there's not much I have not seen over the years working with this stuff. So when I do make a mistake, I really feel pretty ridiculous because, like I said, I've been doing it for so long. I shouldn't make any more mistakes at this point. But there's a few little tricks I've learned over the years, and it kind of makes it a little easier to just flow through it. And even if you do make a mistake, you just say screw it and move on. That wasn't a mistake, by the way. That was just me getting rid of that big pile of vinyl in my hand since I had a few more letters to go. Now, these are the ones that always get me. The M's and the N's, that piece right here, the pointy piece that you pull out, that tends to flat. See, now there's one at the top. That's the problem. You got one at the bottom, one at the top, and they wind up overlapping, and then you have a mess. But I did not this time, so that's good. All right. So the next step we're going to do is we are going to take this sheet of paper. Now, remember I said I could do something any size. Let's get you back on the actual tape machine here. This piece of tape, if I hold the tape up, look what I can do with the lettering. I can slide it right underneath it. So I can slide everything that I can't do. Well, you know what I am going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and sweep the floor right under there so I don't get all the dust on it. Just happen to have a broom right here. That would make sense, I think. Wouldn't you? Not really dirty. It's just, a little bit of dust that wouldn't make a huge difference, but, I'm a Marine and I like things being a little better than just average. So for that much work, I was able to keep this from getting all dusty. So here we go. I'm going to shove this sucker up underneath here all the way until I can lay the part on this side flat. All right. And once that's all there, now if you look back here on the table, you'll see I have my piece that's all laid out flat. So now I can put my roll of tape where I need it. I have lines on the table to see that I'm straight or not. So I can tell that I'm pretty straight on the table. And we're just going to go ahead and pull this tape out. Oh, no, we're not. We have one letter that has a piece of vinyl in the middle. Come y'all didn't say something. Nobody said anything in the chat or anything. Come on. Okay. Got that off of there. That was a quick save, huh? It wouldn't have mattered, really. I would have just gone back and put it on or taken it off when I applied the vinyl to the substrate. So here we go. We'll take this piece out. We'll cover as much as we can. Okay. Make sure we get it nice and flat with no wrinkles. This is the beauty of this little machine. That's why when I found it, I was just I was so excited because now I can cut vinyl and weed it and tape it all by myself. I didn't need to have another set of hands. What I used to do was have somebody else holding the vinyl for me. But even if you had another set of hands, if the table wasn't long enough, that created a problem. So now check this out. So I'll just roll this up like this to get it out of the way for me. And then we're going to pull the material through, and the tape is going to dispense out as we go. See that? I still didn't get all the way to the end, but it's okay because I got a nice smooth tape here. And I can just roll this up a little bit more. And now we can go ahead and pull the letter E. And we got it all finished. All right? So you're like, oh, wait, I didn't do part of it. Yeah. Well, here's the deal. The tape comes in varying widths, just like the vinyl does. And the last time I needed to buy tape, I thought that was going to be the last sign I ever made. So I only brought tape big enough to do what I needed to do. That was not the best call because now here I am doing another sign, which I really did not expect to do. And the tape I'm using is too small for the operation, but I told you, I've been doing this a long time. So we're just going to do 2 sections of tape, right? We'll do that section. We'll get it all set up really good so that it's not going to cause any issues. And we're going to set a second piece that's going to overlap right here, you know, about this much, so that we can be able to get it off of the paper and onto the actual substrate that we're going to be putting it on, which today is going to be a piece of corrugated plastic. So that wasn't good. Just threw my tweezers into the garbage can. You've seen those little signs on the side of the road, the real estate signs, the little ones that are kind of on a wire stand. They're made out of what looks like cardboard, but it's plastic. So we call that corrugated plastic. And that's what this is going on, but it's going on a big, huge sheet of it. Those small ones are going to be going on a small sheet of corrugated plastic. So I'm going to turn this around because I like working closer to me than further away. And that's why I'm taping the side that's closest. Then we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. I'm going to go ahead and shove this sucker up underneath. My hands aren't sticky enough to slide it now. Let's see here. So, and see, I have to hold the tape up with my other hand so it lets the vinyl slide up underneath it. All right. So there we go. That's pretty good. We got that pretty straight there. Push it out a little more. And that's going to give me an overlap I'm looking for. There we go. So I'm kind of keeping track of where it is at that end. So I'm making sure all the letters are covered. But I also want as much overlap as I can get so that the tape doesn't fall apart right here, right? I need that to stay together when I'm transferring everything to the sign itself. All right, so we got that part. And I'm going to go ahead and squeegee this now before I pull it through, just because I don't want that seam to come loose. All right. Anybody wants to jump in the chat there? Hey, Jordan. Good to see you, sir. I didn't know anybody would be able to even know I was there. I just thought I'd go on and sell a couple more sign jobs that I got stuck doing. I didn't get stuck doing them. You know, I'm retiring from this, and I'm looking forward to my retirement, but this is a big part of who I was for a lot of years, so I'm not going to complain about doing a few more jobs. Having real trouble here with this one. I did run into some problem with this. The size of it is not going to, because of it's so big, it's not going to be a real issue, but just a little maneuvering when I go to apply it, that's all. It's not perfect the way I like it to be. All right, so we're almost done with the one. And then once these are done, I'm going to take them up to my garage where I have this humongous corrugated plastic sitting up there. I have to cut it, and then I have to get these things stuck on. So that's the one. Now I got to cut the second one. Just store that right there for a minute. I guess I could bring them down here and do them. I am going to have to go and get my charger for my laptop because I have this running off my laptop. And you know, I'm just going to take a chance with it having another 10 feet available. I did 4 of those at 18 inches each. That's less than 10 feet. The roll of vinyl is 30 feet, so should have enough on there. Yeah, let's go ahead and send it. I took off that box so it doesn't have to go back and forth 3 times. So let's see. Oh, now y'all are looking at an empty table. Oh, I should have swept that piece of the floor there too before it comes down. Now that I know it's a problem, go ahead and fix it. There we go. Got the problem causing over here now. All right, so we'll let that sucker finish. I'm gonna go get a charger for my laptop. Be right back. Of course, you'll be able to hear me most of the way. You know what? Just heard that vinyl pull again. I don't want that to jam. You can hear it banging around on there. Need to make sure it has enough material. Again, I don't want it to go all cattywampus. It is starting to get out from underneath the wheel, but we're a pretty good ways away. That was the O, it says I, N, so the S is the last letter. Emissions, that's it. Come back around. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. It sounds like a dove. It says, woo, woo. I don't know if you heard it or not. So we made that. It got it cut. It had vinyl left on the roll. So if anybody needs some black lettering cut for anything, I have a whole nother roll of black vinyl. And I have some red too. But again, I don't want to do this anymore, so act now. Quantities are limited. All right, so we got the second one going now. And get this off of here. Now I'm going to run up and grab my charger for my laptop so that it will not go dead while we're in the middle of this. I wanted y'all to get a chance to see the application of the material on the corrugated plastic, at least for the small sign. So give me a second to grab my laptop charger. So yeah, it's flashing at me all red. Big red X flashing. Hang on. Got to grab a charger from upstairs. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of work in the sign shop anymore, but well, I wanted to share this kind of last times when I'm doing it. Not just to share it with you folks that are watching, but also to be able to have it on there. You know, my grandchildren are going to want to look at this stuff someday, you know? So I'll say, oh, look at that. There's a video of Grandpa making signs. There's a few of them out there. If y'all Google me, we've put some on YouTube over the years. But go ahead and knock this sucker out. I can show you those other signs, the actual application. Oh, see, there's what I was saying. You got to be careful. You don't pull up one of the letters. That could become problematic. now. I don't like these M's in the ends. So there you go. It's actually sticking to itself. Thankfully, this vinyl is very forgiving. It doesn't instantaneously stick to itself. It's got a little bit of leeway, especially because it's a little cooler in the basement today. So when it's warmer, you know, glue is a little stickier when it's warmer. So what I'm going to do is my tape came out from underneath my tape machine here. Go ahead and get this set back up. All right. We'll get this sucker loaded up here for the first pass. Oh, forgot to take my O out. Yeah, I don't want that to fall down and touch the lettering, so I need it to stay propped up. There we go. All right, here we go. Do our first pull here. Sliding a little bit. Come back. Make sure we keep it lined up the way we want it. Again, try not to get any wrinkles in it. I'm going to have a little bit of fun trying to apply that first one. And since I did it the way I did it on the last one, I'm going to go ahead and wait to squeegee it, because when I squeegeed it first, that's when I wound up having trouble. Let's just go ahead and get this pulled through first, and then we'll worry about squeegeeing it afterwards, okay? Try and keep the pressure on it. There we go. There we go. So the first piece there with no wrinkles or issues. Find a razor knife. All right, we'll just spin this around, stuff it back through. Okay. We just got to make sure we can get this back through there without it all getting jammed up. Yep. Not wanting to cooperate, but again, experience wins out. Okay, I believe that's how far we need to be. There we go. Yeah, so you can see how this little machine really changes the game, even though my table's only 8 feet long, and I have about 2 feet worth of stuff on the end here. I'm still able to tape this as one length. You know, the pieces don't have to be overlapped lengthwise. I did have to do this because I don't have the long enough tape, or wide enough tape, I mean. But the pieces didn't have to be overlapped from end to end. So when you go to apply it, you can pull pressure against it without any fear of it falling apart. See what happened on the last one, and I just caught it before it became a problem. It's just the weight of it kind of causing a curve. That's all right. Figured it out. There's a buckle to it, which has been allowing it to stick my ass there. I did it again. That's all right. Got it. Get this lined up properly. There we go. Now this won't be a problem because I have most of the leather covered with tape, so not an issue on the end of it there. I'll go ahead and squeeze the whole thing down. Okay. Make sure that seam between the halves is good. You really got to squeegee this pretty hard because, you know, that tape now needs to be able to hold the vinyl letter while you're applying it. Now, I do use water in my application process. A lot of people don't. They don't believe in it. I think it allows for, well, there's, you know, two different camps on the thought. I think it allows for bubble elimination when you're using, you know, these very sticky vinyl letters. If you don't have perfect alignment, or if you don't put it down perfectly flat, you can get some big old bubbles in it. And they can be eliminated with a you know, tip of a pin or a razor knife. But why have them in the first place? And one of the things that the beauty of this is that it's the warmer the weather, the better off you are. And I'll tell you, today was a very nice day here in Northwest Atlanta, Georgia. So looks like we're going to be in really good shape to do this application. But now, having said all that and done all that, let's show you how these go. All right. I said I was going to show you how to do these signs here. So let's go ahead and knock this out. First of all, make sure your surface is clean. We are. And then you're going to want to flip your vinyl over. And then I'm going to pull the paper away from the tape. And you'll notice that all the lettering now stays with the tape. All right. That's the first step. Now, I don't recommend that somebody who's making $50 signs for a client, I really wouldn't recommend that you just slap these on dry like this, because see what happens? I just touch the letter to it, and you see how it's already pulling it back up? And that's obviously not in the right place. So you can use water for this, and I put just a tiny bit of soap in the water. And when I do the larger ones, I will, because I can't manage them like this. But I have 36 years experience, we decided, 34 years experience. So I can eyeball this pretty well to where it needs to be, so that when I do set it down, I'm setting it down once. All right, and once it's down, and also these signs are being put out on the side of the road temporarily. They're probably not going to be up more than a couple weeks. Hopefully people will figure it out pretty quick that he's open on Sunday. And anyway, if you do them dry like this without any water application, the benefit is now I can just take my tape and remove it, because the stickiness of the vinyl onto the substrate is greater than the stickiness of the tape to the vinyl. So you see now it just comes right off, and now you have your really nice sign. And the letters are predominantly straight. I mean, there's probably a little bit, that looks pretty good actually. The distance between there, yeah, this might be a little bigger here than it is here. That would be the only, but again, not anything the average eyeball is going to see. Oh, these are two-sided too. So make sure you got it the right way, bottom here, not the other way around if you're going to do a two-sided sign. So I'm going to do these the same way. I'll do the last one with water, because I don't want to get the table wet until so I'll do the last one with water to show you that. I'm not delivering these today. I mean, I am, but probably not. So we'll just set this right where it needs to go. There we go. And see where I pick it up like that, now I'm holding pressure on it, and I won't squeegee a big wrinkle into the lettering. That's the reason for that. So I'll do the same thing here. See, now I can hold it nice and close to the material, and when I squeegee it down, there's no wrinkles going to be in it at all. All right, so there's one sign with two sides. Got our second one here. I am going to do these dry because I want to deliver them today, now that I think about it. I have to go and do a Google verification video for this location this afternoon. Actually, right after I get done making these two signs. I want to get that knocked out, because if I can get them to show that they're open tomorrow, they could probably be open tomorrow. So I'm going to try and knock it out real quick this afternoon. And then he'll have these signs, and then we'll be good to go, right? So, and I can just take the other signs up to my shop where the landlord stops by 2 times a week. He can pick them up there. All right, so there's 3 of them. And now you notice I'm not pulling this tape like this. I'm pulling it against it like this. That way, if I maybe missed a little bit of squeegeeing somewhere, maybe I was just off a little bit, and the letter isn't quite down nice and tight, it's not going to pull it off. It's still going to allow me to continue to pull, and that letter should stay on. And then I can just rub it down with my finger. All right, so that'll be the 4 sides of these, and that's where I'm going to call it a day with this video, with this live. Maybe I'll go on TikTok next time. Appreciate y'all watching. I'll go and do this verification video. Get those guys online. Get them their signs. If you need an emissions test in Dallas, Georgia, they're open on Sunday. Appreciate y'all watching. Look forward to hanging out with you again sometime.